40 games, 1 weekend, 1 aim. To achieve FUT Champions success, and only one man holds the key to said success, and his name, Glenn Murray. How's it going, guys? And welcome to episode 2 of my FUT Champions run on my ManLikeMurray account. And we start things off in this episode by taking a 1-0 lead in our first game as Dwight Gale slipped through on goal, and he finishes his chance very well, as he always does for us. We then double our lead as the ball bubbles to back stick, where Virgil van Dijk smacks the ball on the half volley on his strong foot into the back of the net, putting us 2-0 up in this game and securing our lead very early on. And then Dwight Gale cuts inside and lays the ball off to Adam Lallana, who finds the main man Glenn Murray, who finds the net with the finesse shot as he always does, putting us 3-0 up in this game inside 32 minutes and putting this game to bed before the half-time mark. And this is probably the best performance from our team so far, and Murray wasn't done there as he finds the back of the net with an outside of the boot finish from the edge of the box, putting us 4-0 up in this match. And at this point I knew there was no chance my opponent would come back into this match. And Dwight Gale puts the game to bed with a lovely chip in the 79th minute to make it 5-0. And my attack played so well in this game. They put away every decent opportunity they had, and that now gives us our 4th win in the FUT Champions Weekend League. Now when I came up against this side, it wasn't any of the informs that scared me, it was Paulo Dybala. And he would be the one to give my opponent the lead early on as he plays the ball across to him and he finishes well. He then does the same again to give him a 2-0 lead, and at this point I thought I was out of this game. But as always in this series we have an answer as we play the ball to Glenn Murray, who does some lovely dribbling, shrugs off the defenders and manages to find the bottom corner with a powerful low shot, making the game 2-1 and putting us right back into this match, giving us a fighting chance of a comeback. And that we would do as Gale whips the ball into Adam Lallana of all people to score the header just after half time, making it 2-2 in this match and putting us right back in it with a winning chance. And of all the people in my team to score a header, he's a surprising one. But unfortunately for us, my opponent would score a late goal to make it 3-2 with Gonzalo Higuain and put the game to bed, and we do not get anything out of this game. Now our next match, we get matched up against this. Yet again, another Luis Hernandez, and we come up against Gareth Bale and Cristiano Ronaldo. But Dwight Gale would give us the lead in this match as he manages to get through on goal and slip the ball under the goalkeeper early on, giving us a lead in a game that was rather uneventful. And in fact, that's how the game would end. We pick up a 1-0 win against a team we did not stand a chance against, and we get our 5th win inside the FUT Champions Weekend League. Going into the next match, we come up against a very solid looking Premier League side, and my opponent would take a 1-0 lead for N'Golo Kante in the 31st minute, and that's all we'd see from this game as I take a 1-0 loss. Now going into my next match, we come up against yet another Premier League side with a bronze striker who my opponent would sub off early on, and we take an early lead as Dwight Gale goes through on goal, but the keeper saves well, but it leaves Adam Lallana with an open net to finesse the ball into, and we take a 1-0 lead with yet another goal for that man Adam Lallana, although my opponent would level things up in this game through Christian Eriksen in the 12th minute, and the game became level again early on, putting this game right back to balance, and nothing would happen until extra time as Ahmed Musa manages to find the back of the net with a driven low shot. And Musa's just the best super sub in the game. He's so deadly off the bench. And my opponent would put this game to bed as he plays the ball across to Dele Alli in the 120th minute, giving himself a 3-1 lead, securing the win for him and knowing that I wouldn't come back into the game. So it was at this point I decided I needed a new team, as I'd spent the majority of my money on the informed Gale, who had been excellent, but I thought if I spread my money more evenly I could make a better squad. So I went with the goalkeeper of Begovic, a back 4 of Bellerin, Van Dijk, Zuma and Alonso, a midfield trio of Kante, Idrissa Gueye and Santi Cazorla, and a front three of Martial, Oxlade-Chamberlain, and of course the main man Glenn Murray, who I'm not too bothered to play on 8 chemistry. And I knew by splashing the cash on Anthony Martial, he would single-handedly win me a few games in FUT Champions, as he's one of the best players in the game. And I also decided to buy some super subs, because I thought they'd be useful. So I bought Ahmed Musa because he was so good against me in the last game, Roberto Pereira, who's a very well-rounded midfielder, and Kiyate, who's a solid defensive midfielder who we could bring on at the back if we needed to. Now we go into our first game with the new team, and we come up against a very sweaty looking side, and my opponent would take the lead in lucky fashion as he plays the ball into front post and Loic Remy manages to squeeze the ball into the back of the net. But we had an answer as Glenn Murray slips the ball through to Oxlade-Chamberlain, who levels things up with a debut goal and an excellent finish cross goal with the low shot into the back of the net. And it was at this point we got our first disconnect of FUT Champions, and unfortunately this would happen a few times to us as the EA servers were being very dodgy at this point. So we put that game behind us and went into the next match, and we come up against a very solid looking Portuguese side, although I knew I stood a good chance, and my opponent would take a lead for a finesse shot in the near post with Diego Jota, and I was disappointed because we'd played well up until that point. But as always in this series we had an answer, and Glenn Murray levels things up just before half time, making it 1-1, and Glenn Murray scores yet another goal for us in FUT Champions. Like, when's he gonna stop? And things were looking good until my opponent managed to get a lucky goal to put himself 2-1 up in the game, and unfortunately that's how it would end and we would remain on 5 wins. In our next match we get matched up against a very solid looking BPL side, although Glenn Murray, the main man, gives us a 1-0 lead with an excellent finesse shot from a similar position where he always scores finesse shots from, in the 28th minute, and we weren't done there as Martial slams the ball in at near post, making it 2-0 inside 32 minutes and pretty much putting this game to bed, even though my opponent had a very strong side. We then make it 3-0 as Oxlade-Chamberlain plays the ball across to Martial, who taps the ball into an open net, and we put this game to bed before half time, and my new side is finally starting to show its quality. And if it can play like this for the rest of FUT Champions, I feel like we'll have a very good finish. We then take a 4-0 lead as Glenn Murray finds the bottom corner with a low driven shot on his left boot, and this team was playing so well at this point. It had just been underperforming in the 2 games previous. Now my opponent would get 1 goal back in lucky fashion as it bobbles to his player who managed to slot it under my goalkeeper, but it wouldn't mean anything as we get our 7th win in FUT Champions and end our 16th game. And that's where I'm going to end it for this episode. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe for more ManLikeMurray FUT Champs on my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.